While we're on education, may as well bring up the whole school choice thing. Obviously, in Idaho, we already have school choice in that parents can send their children to public schools, charter schools, private schools, micro schools, pod schools, or homeschool. I think that covers it. But there's obviously been a push for several years to have tax money follow the child to one of those alternative options. Just in general, what are your thoughts on that? And is there anything that should be changed about the current system, or do we just need to stay the course?
Oh, I think we have to continue to look at ways to change. I mean, the bulk of the way we've done school is the same way we've been doing it for the last century, last maybe 2 centuries. I mean, we haven't changed that much. Now in Idaho, we have lots of different school choice. Probably more so, I've heard somebody say that we have more school choice in Idaho, more options than any other state. And I don't know if that's true, but I know that we have an awful lot. We have a whole bunch. And Idaho falls along. We have a Elevate that's just coming to town. We have a charter school that just started a new high school. We've got the Bonneville Technology High School. We've got District 91. They just started a CET high school. And then with all of that, as you mentioned, you've got a bunch of different options where you can do a high school within a high school or a classroom within a classroom. And so we got lots of options. Um, Now, the big one that came up this session, though, was a voucher system. Can we take state money and go give it to a private school? And there's lots of talk about whether that's legal or not. I'm not a lawyer, but from what I've been heard is yes, you can do that, but as soon as you do that, you open the door for everything. Now, the concept, I often say the concept of school choice, everybody should be for that, right? I mean, we're all for that. However, we don't vote on concepts. Legislators don't vote on concepts. They vote on the words of the bill. And I was trying to find the bill. I have it printed out here somewhere. I wanted to read part of that so that you knew exactly what it said. But when you get down to the words of the bill, it basically says that any private school that takes money from the state, that the state has no say whatsoever on what they teach, how they teach, where they teach, what they do. You have no say, no recognition of or accountability for that money whatsoever. So maybe this is an extreme, but I think it drives home my point. We could be giving money to a private school, and that private school could be teaching socialism or communism or Satanism or whatever you have, and we can't have any say in that matter. And that's the way that bill was written. So the concept, the idea is good, but the words of the bill, there's just no way as a member of JFAC could I ever support such a bill. And I don't think any of my constituents would support me in doing that either.
What's is there a way to make the launch grant apply to, grade schools? Because it's I don't know, it seems like that has more options than once you're in K-12.
I'm not sure how to answer that. I'm not sure where you're going with it. Launch
Uh,
grant is basically after you graduate from high school.
sure. I'm just wondering what the fundamental difference is, because obviously the launch grant goes to certain industries that are in demand, as determined by the Workforce Development Council. Uh, but are there stipulations on that? Do they have to teach certain curricula, or do they have to? What's the accountability there? I'm
Okay,
comparing the two things in my head.
I got you. I'm with you now. So the accountability in that, and we tightened that up this year
Mhm.
because the first year we did it, and we've learned some from that as we looked at it, and as people looked at it and started yelling and screaming, said, "Oh, you're right. We've got some holes there." And I think that's happens with all bills. There is no perfect bill, but hopefully we can refine it and get it better. So this year we tightened that down. We put some sideboards on it. Um, One of the things that we really looked at was what is considered an in-demand career. One of the things that in demand, if you go to every restaurant or fast food store, They need waiters. They need hamburger cookers. And so you think, oh, great. Let's go get $8,000 from the state of Idaho so I can go flip burgers. And nothing wrong with that career at all. I'm not saying that. But that a waiter was part of that. And I said, well, that's not quite what we're after. You know, we want something a little more detailed, a little more involved, that you can be more of a contributing member of society that pays taxes. Okay, that's basically it. And so we narrowed that down and says, no, this needs to be more of a benefit to the state of Idaho. And so we've narrowed that down. The other thing is we've narrowed it down and say, okay, well, let's say I go to college and I think, oh, this is really fun. And if most of college people are like me on my first year, I paid for my first year the rest of my life because of my grades were so terrible. I had a great time my freshman year. Well, we're not going to do that. Okay, if you're screwing around and you're not doing the things that you need to do to get some good grades, and you say, well, you know what, I'm dropping out, I'm not going to pursue that. Fine, but you need to pay the money back. And so it's not a free handout. You go have fun and enjoy your college career and not get anything out of it at the end. You got to have something at the end. We're willing to work with you. We know you certainly got a 6-month window that you're like, hey, I gotta go find myself. Okay, fine. But when you come back, you need to get back involved and stay there. So it doesn't do that. It doesn't pay for your housing. It pays for tuition, fees. And so there's a lot of misconception about launch, what it pays, what it does. But it does keep track of those students, what they're doing with that money, where are they at with their grades, where are they at with their education, and is it something that's going to benefit Idaho? And so, again, I think launch is a good program. There's just a lot of information out there that's not quite right, and a lot of information based off of the first year that we set it. And they haven't quite heard about what we did this year because we really did tighten that up.